Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Queen of TV channel. Before we get into our intro, let's get some quick things out of the way first. Please watch the video to the very end and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Second, there will be cursing and profanity. If that's not your cup of tea, this channel is not for you. Lastly, I will be giving my honest opinion about the episode and the show as a whole. Without further ado, let's get into our intro. Welcome, everyone. I'm your host, the Queen herself, and you are the Prince and Princesses. You're either a subscriber or you are a viewer. Either way, welcome. Today, we're talking about H2O, Season 2, Episode 18, The Heat is On. We start off this episode with the girls all calling each other in unison saying happy 1 year anniversary. Like I said in episode 14, where Emma had said that she had actually been working at Juice Net Cafe a little bit over a year. I was confused about that because they became mermaids before she started working at the Juice Net Cafe. She did not start working there until episode 15 of season 1, while they've been mermaids since episode 1 of season 1. So it's weird to me in the timeline. So my guess is that Emma meant that she had almost been working there a little bit closer to a year, not over a year, but maybe coming to it in a year, while they have been mermaids for a year. It's probably what she meant in the translation, but I digress. We then go to the Juice Net Cafe. We see that Zane is on his ego power trip, and I'm guessing they're trying to make up for what the 15th episode did. It's not, because in reality, he and Ash are both being a dumbass in this episode. So while he's playing pool with Nate, he accidentally gets Emma wet, which she has to run to the cool room to dry off. Ash is worried. It's Sorry about that. Back to what I was talking about. Emma had overheard Ash and Zane's conversation, where Zane had the bright idea, and a lot of people can seriously say all that they want, that what Zane did was to help her, but insulting her would not be a way of helping somebody. So I can understand where Emma is coming from. To be honest, I'm like Cleo. In my eyes, yeah, it was an accident. Okay, I understand that. And we'll get more into that in the review. But he insults her and tries to make it like it's her fault. And she gets upset about that. And Ash decides that he had enough of Zane's mouth and he bars him from the Juice Net Cafe. And Emma is proud of Ash for standing up for her. I mean, of course, they're dating. So, of course, she would be. We see Lewis and Charlotte walking on the beach, and Lewis decides that he wants to plan them eating out. Now, Charlotte mentions something in this that I'm going to talk about in the review, that usually she's the one that does all the planning. So it's nice to see that Lewis is doing the planning, because then that means he's happy. Or that means something else, but like I said, I'll talk about that in the review. But asked her when he was suggesting what they would do if it would be all right with her, meaning he would need her permission from her, saying that it's okay to, yeah, let's eat this and stuff like that, which I understand. Like, a lot of people do this. Maybe to y'all it seems considerate, um but there is a such thing as trying new things, discovering what you like and what you don't like. I feel like he should have been able to plan this without any feedback. But like I said, I digress. We'll talk about it in the review. We go back to Juice Net Cafe, where Rikki shows up and Zane gives his rendition of what happened. And it sounds is as if Ash was being the asshole. While in Ash's version, Zane was being an asshole, even if it did mean he was only being that way to help Emma. But in the end of the day, face value, he was the jerk, and Ash is trying to help Emma, while Zane gets help from Rikki after Zane makes it seem like that Ash is the problem. And it starts a whole mess because now Emma and Rikki are at odds with each other. And my God, it is their 1-year anniversary of all things. And this shit happens. So Cleo comes to Juice Net Cafe with Lewis and tells Lewis that it is their 1-year anniversary. Lewis immediately gets confused and thinks it's his and Cleo's 1-year anniversary. Because he's sitting there, standing there with a face, trying to do the math, because he's wondering if he forgot something. It's almost our 1-year anniversary. I made plans. She has to quickly tell him it's their 1-year anniversary as mermaids. But that's funny to me that he thought she meant their 1-year anniversary, even though they've been broken up and he knows that. But instead of saying, I thought we broke up, he sits there and thinking about it. When is this anniversary again? Let me look at the dates. So she says that he also can come because, of course, he's also known they've been mermaids for a while. He's gotten invited. He's the first member of the group. And Luna says, of course, forget the fact he already made plans with Charlotte. So he really can't go. Well, when they get in there to find out that Rikki and Emma are at odds with each other over some bullshit to do with the boyfriends. And they both declared that if one of the other is there, they're not going. Putting Cleo in the middle. Cleo wants to organize everything. That means that Cleo is going to have this idea and vision about what she wants everything to look like, how the setup should be, the photos put together and stuff like that. So all Lewis has to do, really, because he helps in this episode, is just get all the things that Cleo has listed that she needs and just set it up for her. That's it. So it's not like he's doing all the work where he has to decide what to get. No, she has an ideal vision. So once he gets everything that she would need to make it look amazing, he'll set it all up. That's basically what he did. Cleo's deciding to have this party at her house. Well, after this fight, she calls Rikki and asks Rikki to meet her somewhere at the port so they can talk about it. And she tries to see both sides of the coin. She wants Rikki's side. She tries to mediate with Rikki about just coming for her sake, or her and Emma just working this out. But Cleo does not want to pick sides, and Rikki said that maybe she should. So she tries the same tactic with Emma at Emma's house, and Emma says the same thing that Rikki said. Maybe Cleo should pick sides for once. It goes nowhere. So she goes back home completely defeated, and Lewis lets her know that he got everything. And before she could tell him the party's not on, her dad asks her to come speak to him, and she's pulled to the side where he lets her know that since he's working late and he has to be up very early in the morning, they cannot have the party at her house. So Lewis says it's okay because he notices that Cleo is bummed out, that they can just pick somewhere else last minute, and Cleo tells him that there really isn't no point because Cleo can see that Emma and Rikki are at odds. And at first Lewis is like, but they will work it out. She says, no, this time it's serious. Because it is serious, but it's over something completely stupid. And Cleo wonders if they have never been mermaids, would they've ever been friends? Yes and no. Yes, because I believe the only reason why Emma and Rikki fight at a lot and are literally will tolerate each other for the most part, or that they tolerate a lot of things, is because they're fearful of what would happen if everybody found they were mermaids. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why they would tolerate so much. But if they never became mermaids, there would be a possibility that, yeah, they wouldn't get along, but they would, like, at first, like they did, but then they would become cordial with each other and like speak every now and then, and they would become friends slowly. But Lewis lets her know that that's not true, that them being mermaids has nothing to do with why they are friends. And that's, like I said, that's true and false, but you guys debate in the comments what y'all think. um so Cleo decides to take this newfound confidence that she got after she had this heart-to-heart with Lewis to ask both of them to meet her somewhere to the beach. And guess what these two do? They bring the two idiot boyfriends. And what do you know? The not even damn 10 seconds these fuckers get into an argument again about talking about how terrible each and every one of them is, and Cleo has enough and tells them to both leave. That this is not even about them. And she lets Emma and Rikki know, like, this is supposed to be their 1 year anniversary as mermaids. Not fighting over fucking dudes who can't even be in the same room together. That they're supposed to be there for each other, they're supposed to be friends, and that this should be more important to them than their boyfriends. They both end up agreeing with her and decide that they are going to go. Well, Cleo tells Lewis the good news. He has everything set up. She tells him that she appreciates what he's doing for her, and she's glad that she can count on him. So she leaves to go to the island where she waits on him, and this is where Charlotte shows up to see if Lewis hadn't forgotten about the promise date that he was supposed to give her. Luckily, he was given that reminder because now he knows he can't stay. And he tells her, of course not, I didn't forget. Of course, I'm not a forgetting guy. And she's happy about that, so she leaves. Lewis goes out to Mako to finish setting everything up. Well, he apparently gets there before Cleo does somehow. I don't know. I guess Cleo was too busy trying to enjoy the water and all the dolphins and stuff, and that's why it took her longer. But back at the Juice Net Cafe, Zane decides that he's gonna go in there anyway, though he's barred. Ash tries to kick him out, but he ain't leaving, so he challenges Ash to a pool game, and Ash takes him up on his offer. We see Emma and Rikki both show up, and then they're both confused about what's happening, but they end up supporting their boyfriends at the end, breaking their damn promise to Cleo. Apparently, they both are saying that their boyfriend is going to win, and the other one's saying that no, their boyfriend is going to win. And the guys play their stupid pool game. We see that Lewis has finished setting everything up, and Cleo is glad how everything looks. So once everything is finished and everything is set up, Lewis wonders if Cleo is okay, considering that Emma and Rikki have not shown up yet, and she said that she is fine and that she knows that they'll come. Well, Lewis has to break the news to her that he had already promised Charlotte, so he has to abandon her as well. Okay, let me not say abandon. I'll talk about that in review. But he leaves and Cleo is alone. She tells him that she's fine, she's okay, and that, go enjoy his dinner date. Well, we cut back to Juice That Cafe where Emma and Rikki are using their powers on each other's boyfriend, basically, to try to cheat the other one to win. Zane notices that it's them and he tells them to stop it. Well, they end up turning their powers on each other, which causes a small hurricane and causes lightning to strike the lights. And the two of them are unfazed by this while everybody else reacts to it. Lewis sees this and walks up in there and reminds the two of them that they are supposed to be somewhere. That's when they realize that they forgot about Cleo. They apologize to Lewis and ask if he's coming, but he said he already made a prior engagement. We see that they eventually do leave after talking to him when he tells them that Cleo ain't gonna wait forever, so they better go. Cleo is by herself, and that's when the show starts playing this sad song, which is Another Now from the singer who made the theme song for seasons 1 and 2. And then it also shows Charlotte as well, and I'm gonna talk about that. Okay. But they're both sad because Cleo believes her friends have bailed on her. They broke their promise. They care more about their boyfriends and their anniversary and all that they've been through. And Charlotte feels like that Lewis has let her down and broken his promise to her and forgotten about their dinner date. Well, Lewis is able to find Charlotte, and she tells him that the movie had already ended and that he was kind of late, but not really. He got to take out her favorite food and like a movie she has seen way too fucking many times. But she says that it is perfect. It is. I guess it's perfect. It's a picnic, okay? And to be fair, why am I seeing, like, I need to make a video on this because I am seeing so fucking many similarities between Charlotte and Cleo. It's not funny. Like, I'm dead ass serious. Like, it is bothersome as hell. I feel like the show purposely made Charlotte this way to try to not make her a foil for Cleo, but to make it to where she would be exactly like Cleo, except when you compare them together, you would root for Cleo because Charlotte's real personality would make her be a far worse person to root for than for Cleo. But they made sure they had them both have a bunch of fucking similarities. When the girls finally get to the island, they think Cleo had left, and Emma and Rikki have a heart to heart where they kind of apologize to each other, and that's when Cleo shows herself, and she says that, she knows for a fact that they can apologize, but then there will be a next time when they fight, and they said it won't be a next time, and that they promise, and they have a heart to heart, and she is able to forgive them too easily, mind you, but okay. And then they have their moment where they look at all the footage of them back when they took pictures. And we see that Lewis is in some of these pictures too, but shit, he's not there. That sucks. So he's there. Let's get into our review. First things first. Let's call out the elephant in the fucking room. Zane and Ash both were incorrect and wrong and out of pocket this episode. First of all, Zane did not have to insult Emma. He didn't have to insult her. He could have just said, Emma, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to. Are you okay? You want me to get you a towel? Something like that. Like, show in front of Ash that you kind of care. When you insulting her like that, I can see why he got pissed off. That makes it seem like you are an uncaring jackass, like you were back in season 1, and like this is literally the first impression this guy is having of you. And yes, this guy has talked to you before, so the behavior that you have displayed to him has never been this negative. So you being negative like this gives him the impression that you're an asshole, basically. And then Zane turns around and tries to flip it on Ash like Ash was being unreasonable. In all fairness, the only way you would actually be on Rikki and Zane's side is because you would be mad at Emma for being upset that Zane insulted her. As much as people want to sit here and say that Zane was trying to help Emma and that Emma was wrong in this, actually, neither one of them were right. First of all, yes, it was an accident that Zane got Emma wet, but he did not have to say all the shit that he said about her. He made it seem like it's all her damn fault she got wet. If you want to prove to her and Cleo that you are their friend, you are not their enemy, and that obnoxious behavior they thought you had back in season 1 is an act, you would not react that way. There are better ways to handle that situation than to insult her. Second, Ash should have not continuously egged it on. Him making these sly comments about what type of person Zane is without actually getting to know him means that he's only taking everything to face value. He's basically accusing him of being things that, yes, may be true that he was at what point, but at this point he's supposed to change, even though he's still that same person. It takes me back to the second episode of this season when Cleo was, no, not the second episode, the third episode of this season, when Cleo was accusing Charlotte of things that she was not doing, like setting her school on fire and having a boyfriend. And I said Cleo was wrong for that. So Ash is also wrong for judging Zane's character without actually knowing him because of this one incident. And it is so dumb that the two of these guys couldn't just sit here and talk. Like, you literally fighting over something that does not even matter. Okay, Emma got fucking wet. Big fucking deal. It's not like he took a glass and freaking threw it in her face. It's clear and obvious it was a damn accident. But, Ash and Emma fresh in their relationship. Ash got to play the captain, be the boyfriend, stand up, be the man, vouch for your woman type activity. That's what he's doing. And Zane is just being a petty bitch. Okay? I'm sorry. I know some people say you ain't supposed to call men a B-word. But look here. Men and women get called B-word all the time. They call each other B-word all the time. So I don't really care. So at the end of the day, Zane was petty as hell. And to make matters worse, what the hell was Emma and Rikki thinking? Bringing them to this meeting where they supposed to be talking to Cleo together. Why are you bringing your boyfriends? You know they can't stand each other. And of course they got into an argument. Of course they asses decided that they gonna act like they about that life, that they tough and they jacked and they know how to get shit done. Both out here looking like two couple of clowns trying to be macho. And then they decide they're gonna sit us once and for all with a pool game. What the hell is that gonna prove? So you are in the wrong. Regardless of what happened, the both of you are making the matters worse because you are pissed at each other over the stupidest thing I could even think of. This argument makes no sense to me. And Emma and Rikki on stupid mode as well. I feel like Cleo should have not forgiven them. I would have been like, look, I forgive y'all for right now, but the next time the two of you want to get into a damn fight, I'm not mediating it. At this point, I won't be friends with neither one of you two. I would not sit here and give them a pass and forgive them when they know full well they need at this point, after being married for a year, they need to just give the shit up and be friends. And stop arguing and having conflicts with each other. Now, let's talk about the part I want to speak on about what Charlotte said to Lewis, that she usually plans everything. I mentioned, I don't know if it was one episode or a few episodes, where I said that everything that Lewis and Charlotte has done at this point is because it's everything that Charlotte wanted to do. So Charlotte in this had admitted that she has been the one that's been planning all their dates and everything that they do on their dates. That means every time they go to the beach, every time they go to the juice net, every time they go to the movies, every time she's with him when he goes fishing or she wants to go paint somewhere. All of that is her planning it. He plans everything. He has not planned not one date. No fucking wonder I'm bored of their relationship. They don't do a damn thing. The only only one time their relationship was exciting when they went to the Marine Park. I was like, okay. Different date setting. It's not a picnic. It's not the movies. It's not the beach, and it's not the Juice Net Cafe. They're actually going somewhere where you can actually do something productive and have fun. But she didn't even want to be there. And the moment she got there, she started to whinge about the fucking thing. So it just reinforces my idea that I said in episode 16. Charlotte does not treat Lewis as an equal because everything they have done has not been what Lewis would have wanted to do. Because when Lewis wanted to do something, she complained about it. The same way Kim did with Elliot. Watch episode 12 again if you don't believe me. And watch episode 24 if you don't believe me. But it's like, I can see it, and I'll get into this more in my Charlotte video. But like I said, I can see it, but I know why so many of her supporters don't see it. And it's not because they don't see it. They know her behavior is foul and they understand her behavior is wrong. It's the idea that people choose to support certain things, right? Because the way that it works with domestic abuse, everyone thinks that domestic abuse is like physical, right? Anytime a man or a woman get into a fight, it's a domestic abuse situation. Because, like they say, a man is not supposed to hit a woman, and there are men saying that women should not hit men. But men are not. But then again, if it comes to the LGBTQA plus, men are not supposed to hit men either, and women are not supposed to hit women either. But that's more acceptive to women and men because they're fighting the same sex. They're not fighting the opposite sex. But abuse is abuse regardless, and it doesn't always be physical because it doesn't work like that. It doesn't start off with physical touching yet. It gets to there when it becomes a desperate point for the abuser, right? So Charlotte has not done that to Lewis yet. uh we've only seen Charlotte like get to Lewis when he is vulnerable and has manipulated him emotionally and mentally. And she has verbally done this by gaslighting him. So far, the show has decided to tone her down a bit, not to where they make her likable, but enough to where she isn't the center of attention. She isn't able to have a say in anything. That's going to change once we get to episode 21, however, after episode 21. But for right now, she isn't in control of anything. But like I said, I'll talk more about that in the Charlotte video towards the Charlotte apologist fans and how I feel about the situation with them. But that's all I got for you guys today. I will see you guys in the next video. I have a blessed day. Have a wonderful day. And if no one's told you today, I'm telling you, I love you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.